These are the Bleach games on Nintendo Wii. Bleach, everyone's favorite Naruto wannabe. Bleach is an anime television series and manga that was written by Tite Kubo, which features this red-haired guy named Ichigo Kurosaki, who became a temporary Shimigami after Rukia saves his butt from a hollow one day. Of course, with the success of this manga, there's been anime, musicals, and yep, video games based off the Bleach franchise, with some of the video games being the video games we're taking a look at today, the Bleach Wii Games that were both made by Sega. Hi, I'm Eric and I do everything, and Timmy the Taco banned me from making any Bleach to Children jokes for the rest of the video. Oh, whatever, fine. Anyway, Timmy, what's the first Bleach game we're taking a look at? Bleach Shattered Blade, a game made by Sega that came out on the same year as Sonic Sis. Oh no. Bleach Shattered Blade is the second installment of the Bleach home console series, with the first one being a GameCube game. This game was released on December 4, 2006 in Japan, and later in the United States and Europe. Alright, let's check this game out. Bleach. After that exciting opening that totally got my blood pumping, we are faced with a menu system at which Ichigo stares deep into my soul with those charming eyes of his, which in turn causes me to play the main mode of the story, Episode Mode. Episode Mode is pretty much what it sounds like, it's the frickin' story mode. In this story mode, you're given a choice to follow the same story in a viewpoint of 8 different characters, in which they all pretty much follow the same story. Speaking of the story is honestly a bit underwhelming. This is the Lord of the Rings, in which everyone is after this ring because it holds some magical power thingy. Now imagine all of the motivations for the baddies trying to steal the ring was to save a singular pig from dying. No, oinkers, no! Yep, that's the story of this game in a nutshell. One might say it's utter hogwash, and I'm not oinking around. Throughout the story mode, the basic format for each episode is that if someone finds out they collect all the shards, they can do whatever they like getting home or saving a freaking pig for example, which causes them to beat the heck out of each other until whatever character you play as wins. But then, oh no, we are tricked into collecting these shards by some evil baddie so he can use it for his own selfish reasons. No way! Which then leads us to kicking him in the balls, saving the world, and learning about the power of friendship. Credits, bam! Yes, you have to do this 8 times with 8 different characters, with each one of them having their own episode. Let's rank the episodes from worst to best now, shall we? Coming in at Ep tier is frickin' Hanataro. Oh my goodness, I hate this guy so much, as not only is his character annoying to deal with in general, the gameplay revolving around this guy is just so super annoying. Speaking of the gameplay, before we go further with this annoying kiddo, let's actually talk about the gameplay, shall we? Remember Jump Force, kids? The gameplay in Jump Force is strangely similar to the Bleach game, but with motion controls. Yay! During this game, you can either use the Wii Remote by itself or the Wii Remote with a nunchuck. But using the Wii Remote without nunchucks doesn't allow you to gain access to a couple of things, like blocking, but who needs that? Screw blocking. In this game, characters pretty much move around freely in a 3D environment and can move faster while holding the C button, which allows you to go on zoomy zoom to surge ornaments over your fellow competitor, which was actually pretty fun sometimes. Just like your traditional generic fighting games, the character's health is represented by this sassy meter thingy, in which the winner is decided when one of these meter thingies depletes, causing you to, well, die. Below the health gauge is a stamina gauge, which determines how often the player can attack, which basically means the developers were too lazy to balance the characters and opted for something that doesn't allow you to use the same jab over and over again. Well, there are high stakes, a frickin' pig is dying. Speaking of dying, my arms were frickin' dying after this game. In this game, you attack by waving the Wii Remote in various directions, which are split into 3 types: slice, stab, and stab. These attacks allow you to counterattack your opponent, as well as allow you to do these pretty cool rock, paper, scissors like battles throughout the game, which was honestly really fun. Man, why can't rock, paper, scissors be like that in real life? The last thing to mention besides your basic jab attack and special move are your Bankai. Throughout the battles, your Bankai meter thingy gets filled up, and when it's full, you basically turn Super Saiyan and get a super attack as well, which are usually honestly really cool to see and pretty fun to look at for the most part. Bam, bam, boom. Okay, now imagine those concepts and cool ideas, but half them heals the opposing fighter. This finally leads us back to this annoying motherfucker who heals every single person every single time I try to attack. Yeah, since this sword heals people, you cannot use it during battle, but you instead have to use this weird headbutting thing instead, which I still have no idea how it works. The average time it took me to defeat one episode was 28 minutes. this guy took 1 hour and 10 minutes to beat. And he was one of the last characters I played, so by then I was already a professional Bleach Wii Game fighter, meaning it was the character, not me. D tier, Renji. This character not only has the stupid motivation of collecting the shards to save a frickin' pig, but he is by far the most overpowered character in the game due to the length of his normal attacks. Yep, this is a normal attack. Seriously, this was the only character I didn't lose at all with, and I'm not even good at games like these. C tier, Toshihiro, Ichiko, and Kenpachi. All these characters are pretty average for the most part in terms of gameplay, but their motivations for collecting the shards and being tricked was quite unoriginal in regards to this game, so these characters are pretty average. B tier, Baikura and Yoriichi, who were pretty average to play as their stories are pretty different and actually bearable. Instead of these characters being tricked by some outside force, they both try to stop all the fighting from happening, which in turn leads them to defeat the imposters, tricking the majority of these characters. Speaking of the imposter main baddie of this game, Arturo Paledo, is the only S tier character on this list. This guy was so satisfying to play as. This guy legit answers the question, what if we made a final boss in a video game a character you can play as? And it's freaking awesome. And he's not just some overpowered beast as well, but pretty balanced to play as, which personally surprised me, as usually being able to play as final bosses leads to an overpowered jumbled mess. I mean, imagine being able to play as whatever the heck this boss is in the other games. Anyway, not only playing as him was quite fun, but this guy actually has a pretty interesting and unique story, which is just a shame, considering this dude only makes an appearance in 2 games and that's it. He's not in the anime, manga, and not even in the freaking musical. So I took a liberty of cosplaying as him and participated in a musical for him. You're welcome. His story centers around him breaking free from his imprisonment, and with the shard's spiritual energy, he becomes more powerful than ever and starts beating the frick out of everyone for revenge's sake, which actually leads him to defeat and kill everyone. Yeah, bye bye Renji, you and your frickin' pig won't be missed. Other than the story mode though, there really isn't anything notable to say about this game, as the other modes include the options, gallery, versus mode, tournament. Yeah, you get it, basic stuff every decent fighting game has basically. Overall, this game was honestly fun at times, albeit a bit annoying. Making this a game I would recommend if you like the battle system in Jump Force, but keep in mind that it's honestly mediocre and a 6 out of 10 at best. Anyway, what's the next game, Timmy? Bleach vs. Crusade. This is a game on the Wii that was released on December 18, 2008 as a Japan exclusive game, which was probably for the best, which I mean, have you seen Americans when it comes to Bleach? I hate you, you know that? Anyway, enough joking around, let's actually play this game. Street Fighter, that's a fun game. Do I really need to explain the gameplay at this point? 2 people face against each other in a 2D-like aspect, beating the heck out of each other. Great. Now imagine that, but with a 3D environment filled with motion controls and more camera cuts than what should be legally possible. Yep, that's this game. Let's talk about the story mode now, shall we? While the story is in Japanese, after playing the story mode for this game, I determined there is nothing too notable about the story, as the story is just really a glorified tournament mode that follows the story of the Arankar arc, in which Ichiko is seen as a threat by a group of people who try to stop him, resulting in, yep, you guessed it, battles. Speaking of the battles, after going through a tutorial going through all the controls and attacks you can do, with the controls featuring normal attacks, blocking, your special move, the dash, your Super Saiyan Bankai thingy, and staring at this shiny baldy's head, you finally get into the fighting action. Okay, you know how Sonic has that burst mode when it comes to overall games that allows him to consistently reach top speed? Well, apparently Ichiko has that now, as he can get all swishy swooshy speedy whenever he wants, which I totally didn't exploit at all. What are you talking about? I'm gonna combine Sonic and Ichiko in Photoshop now. There, finish. Oh no. Fine, you take a look at this. Anyway, the fighting for this game actually fits the anime much better in my opinion, and I personally find it much more addicting and fun as well. As while the last game did have decent fighting on par with Jump Force, the game developers definitely saw the top 20 Watch Mojo Bleach fights and was like, yeah, I can do that. For example, you got the black speed line march whenever you dash around in place, making the battles much more fast in comparison to most fighting games, and it just makes you feel like you're legitimately playing as Ichiko, which is pretty awesome, especially since there are hardly any anime games out there that truly feel unique to a specific game series, and it's something that only specific series can do. That being said though, I do have some annoyances when it comes to this game. For example, there are a bunch of randomly scattered obstacles throughout the fight that really do nothing but get in the way, which not only interrupts the fast gameplay style you're going for, but you can't even destroy the obstacles as well. Another problem I had with this game is the fact that this game is very short, as it only took me 42 minutes to complete the entirety of the main mode of this game, which really disappointed me because like I said, this game was surprisingly fun to play. story. I mean, it looks great, it plays well, and it really honestly made me fall in love with Bleach all over again. Thank goodness I didn't have to drink any Bleach because of this game, gosh darn it! No, what are you gonna do to me? No.